Let me ask you a powerful question. Are you living for applause, or are you building something unshakable in the dark? Because the truth is, real transformation doesn't happen under the spotlight, it happens in the silence, in the grind, in the moments when no one is watching and no one is clapping. That's where greatness is born. Too many people are addicted to validation. They're shouting about their dreams before they've even taken the first step. But the masters, the leaders, the game changers, they move in silence. They let their results be the noise. They put in the reps behind closed doors and show up with outcomes that shock the world. Work in silence and surprise them isn't just a catchy quote, it's a mindset, a strategy, and a commitment to personal power. It's about focusing your energy inward, building unshakable momentum, and letting your breakthroughs speak louder than your words ever could. So if you're ready to trade hype for hustle, distraction for discipline, and noise for next-level results, this is your moment. Let's dive in. Let's unleash the force within you that doesn't need to be seen, until it's undeniable. When you decide to eliminate the noise and work in silence, something extraordinary begins to happen. You start to regain your focus, your drive, and your sense of internal direction. In a world that's constantly screaming for attention, silence becomes a superpower. When you stop feeling the need to post every move, tell every plan, or explain every dream to people who probably don't even understand your vision, you create space, mental, emotional, and spiritual space, for true clarity and forward motion. You stop performing and start producing. You stop getting distracted by opinions and start getting obsessed with outcomes. Focus is like a laser. It becomes most powerful when it's narrow, when it's undiluted, when it's directed at a single point. But if you're constantly spreading your energy across conversations, social media posts, validation, seeking behaviors, and the hunger to be seen, you dilute your power. What could be a concentrated force of execution becomes a scattered storm of intention without results. The more you talk about what you're going to do, the more your brain tricks you into thinking you've already done it. That's not progress, that's illusion. Silence starves illusion and feeds truth. It grounds you in reality and forces you to look at what you're actually building, not just what you're imagining. This is why working in silence isn't weakness. It's discipline. It's strength. It's the decision to prioritize inner alignment over outer applause. It's about stripping away the noise so you can hear what truly matters, the next step, not 10 steps ahead, not the finish line, just the next action that moves you closer. Silence helps you tune into your own internal compass. It gives you the time to ask yourself, what do I want? What am I willing to do to get it? What's the cost of distraction? And am I willing to pay it? People often confuse visibility with success, but success doesn't come from being seen. It comes from being consistent. The real players, the entrepreneurs, the visionaries, the top athletes, the masters of their craft, they all know the truth. Most of the winning happens long before anyone is watching. It's in the early mornings, the late nights, the hours of repetition, the mindset conditioning, the quiet sacrifices no one will ever thank you for. That's where champions are built. That's where focus becomes unshakable. When no one's cheering, when no one's clapping, and when it feels like no one cares, that's when your identity is tested and your greatness is formed. Let's not forget the psychological edge that silence gives you. When you're not broadcasting your every move, you eliminate pressure. You're no longer working to meet people's expectations. You're working to exceed your own. You don't owe anyone an explanation or a timeline. You're free to pivot, to evolve, to make mistakes, and to grow without judgment. That freedom is priceless. It removes the weight of performance and replaces it with the power of progress. And when you finally reveal what you've been working on, when the silence breaks and the surprise hits, it's not just a reveal, it's a revelation. The world respects results, not announcements. Talking about your goals might get you a few likes, maybe some compliments, but those are empty calories. They don't fuel you, they fade quickly, but doing the work, the deep, consistent, quiet, gritty work, feeds your soul. It creates a sense of self-respect, respect that no external praise can ever match, you begin to see yourself as powerful not because people believe in you, but because you believe in you. That's unshakable, that's rare. That's what creates unstoppable focus. Think about it. When you walk into a room with results, you don't have to explain yourself. The work speaks, the energy shifts, people feel it. They're not surprised that you succeeded. They're stunned by how you did it without making noise. That silence becomes your signature. It tells people that while they were talking, you were transforming. While they were watching, you were working, and now they're watching something they can't ignore. The quiet journey becomes the loudest statement. There's also a humility in silence that sharpens your character. When you stop trying to impress others, you start working to impress yourself. You start showing up not because you need recognition, but because you made a promise to yourself and you intend to keep it. That internal integrity builds confidence from the inside out. You trust yourself more. You commit more deeply. You stop chasing momentum and start creating it. In silence, you become your own competition. And that's when the real shift happens. Focus isn't a matter of willpower. It's a matter of priority. Silence helps you remove distractions and elevate what matters. It forces you to get honest about what you're actually doing with your time. Are you moving the needle or are you scrolling? Are you building or are you boasting? Every hour counts, and in silence, every hour is accounted for. There's no performance, just progress. So, when you choose to work in silence, you're not just avoiding noise. You're stepping into a deeper kind of power. You're creating momentum that compounds quietly, behind the scenes, until one day the world sees what you've done and can't look away. And when that moment comes, it won't be because you demanded attention, it'll be because you earned it. Every quiet hour, every unnoticed step, every moment you chose focus over fame will speak louder than any announcement ever could. That's the beauty of silence. It's not empty. It's full of intention, full of growth, full of transformation. It's the soil where greatness is rooted, so embrace it, honor it, let it sharpen your focus and drive your mission forward. Because when the time comes and the world sees what you've built in the dark, they won't just be surprised. They'll be inspired. There's a universal law of performance and achievement that says, where your attention goes, your energy flows. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most overlooked truths in the modern world. Most people waste enormous amounts of energy not on the pursuit of their goals, but on the performance of wanting to be seen chasing their goals. They talk more than they do. They announce instead of act. They look busy but stay stagnant. They think sharing every little step keeps them accountable, when in reality, it often steals the momentum they haven't yet built. When you decide to keep your head down and stay focused, you reclaim that energy. Every ounce of fuel that would have gone into justifying yourself, proving yourself, or getting attention can now be reinvested into progress. Talking about your plans, goals, or dreams might give you a small dopamine hit. It might feel like you're moving, but it's deceptive. That feeling of sharing can trick your brain into believing that you've already made progress. That trick is deadly. It creates false satisfaction, which reduces your hunger to actually do the work. Imagine you're planting a seed. Every time you talk about it instead of watering it, you're letting the soil dry out. You're pulling it up to show people, look what I planted, but it hasn't had time to root. You're disrupting the process in the name of approval. But what that seed really needs is consistent care, uninterrupted attention and time. Lots of time in silence and darkness. That's how growth works. The energy that goes into growing something meaningful requires consistency, protection, and focus. We live in an attention economy. That means every app, every platform, and every conversation is competing for your mind's bandwidth. If you're constantly chasing that validation, you're leaking the very power you need to rise. Every second spent explaining your vision to someone who doesn't understand it is a second stolen from building it. Every post you make to prove you're working is a distraction disguised as action. Working in silence allows you to conserve and direct that energy like a laser beam toward execution. When you keep things private, you're not holding back your light. You're preserving your fuel. You're putting yourself in a position to go deeper, not louder. Silence helps you tune out the noise of the world and tune into the signal of your soul. Your path becomes clearer. Your decisions become sharper. You're no longer weighed down by the pressure to impress or the fear of being judged too soon. You work not because people are watching, but because your mission is too important to delay. It also creates an advantage that most people don't see coming: emotional resilience. When you're not constantly updating others, you free yourself from their reactions. No likes, no comments, no feedback loops that mess with your momentum. You become self-sourced. Your validation comes from your progress. And every small win, though unseen by the world, strengthens your internal belief. You start to trust your process more. You stop needing approval because you're watching yourself grow, and that's the most powerful feedback there is. Now here's the flip side. When you finally show your results, after weeks, months, or years of quiet work, it lands with impact. The surprise isn't just dramatic, it's strategic. You shock people because they never saw it coming. You were too busy doing the work to boast about it. And now the energy you stored, the momentum you built, explodes all at once. You don't just show up, you arrive. This isn't about hiding. It's not about being mysterious for the sake of ego. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing to protect your energy so it can multiply. It's about respecting the creative process, which rarely happens in front of a crowd. The world rewards results, not effort announcements. When you do the real work in silence, you build power behind the scenes, and when that power is finally revealed, it has the force of a storm. Working in silence doesn't mean you're not ambitious. It means you're smart enough to know that real ambition requires direction, not distraction. You're not throwing your energy into 1,000 conversations. You're investing it into one commitment, the outcome. That's how champions move. That's how leaders rise. That's how legacies are built, not by noise, but by quiet, consistent, disciplined energy that refuses to be wasted on anything less than results. So protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Pour it into systems, habits, learning, testing, refining, and evolving. Keep your eyes on your own path. Let the others talk. Let them perform. Let them post and pretend. You stay locked in. Stay quiet. Stay powerful. Because the energy you guard in silence is the energy that will one day speak for you louder than any words ever could. In the end, work in silence and surprise them is more than just a motivational phrase. It's a lifestyle, a strategy, and a declaration of self-mastery. It's about choosing discipline over distraction, execution over attention, and inner power over external praise. In a world obsessed with noise, your silence becomes your edge. While others are busy broadcasting plans, you're quietly building realities. While they seek validation, you're cultivating vision. And when your moment comes, when the doors open, the lights hit, and the world finally sees what you've been shaping in the dark, your results will speak volumes. So don't fear the quiet, embrace it, protect it. Let it become the sacred ground where your future is born, because when you let your success do the talking, the surprise isn't just satisfying. It's unstoppable. Stay focused. Stay committed. Work relentlessly in silence. And when it's time, shock the world.